What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the s12 Reviews channel. We have our co-host with us, James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey.
We will not be watching our mouth.
Nope, not in the slightest. Sorry, y'all. As I say in my video, ain't gonna happen.
I'm just like annoyed with the episode, but not the episode. I was annoyed with like some of the shenanigans and the behavior of people in the episode. And apologies everybody for being a day late and $1 short. Hell, I just been very busy, but it won't happen again next week. So this episode is titled Great Expectations, season 12, episode 10. Let's see what it does, what it doesn't, and all those good things. So we're gonna start the doggone episode having to hear Ashley's voice. I feel like I'm saying this so much more lately with like what's been going on with reality TV, but the sound of her voice make my teeth itch, makes the hairs on me just stand up. Her voice is annoying, and she yells like all the time, and I don't want Ashley to do that anymore. Now, her and Lil Zane got this whole little drama of the timeline and him having a maybe baby, the ex, and all this mess, which to me shows that everyone involved is stupid, but we'll get to that later. So Lil Zane Ashley says that Lil Zane proposed to her in late 2014. Now, she also says that she learned that he cheated on her with Michelle around that time as well. And she's questioning Lil Zane's family because his mom and his family seem to be like, we're going to stick beside, the son. They give me the type of people who probably have no problem profiting off their child's job, because why else are they keeping all these secrets from her? And it does seem intentional, especially after seeing the barbecue. I just don't like how Ashley gets mad, screams, and leaves. But she questions the family. Zane swears that he cannot remember when he got with Ashley, when he stopped dealing with Michelle and all these things. You don't forget, he's full of it. And Ashley asked if Zane hooked up with Michelle while she was in Atlanta, which I guess must have been recently or something like that. Nobody answered the question. Nobody really answered the question. They gaslit her through that whole conversation. So Ashley essentially ends up saying that the trust is broken. And I never understand that. Like, if the trust is truly broken, then leave. Then leave. You have nothing without trust. If you don't think you can trust them, because what is knowing what really happened going to do to change what happened? And then separate from that, how is knowing what happened going to help you restore the trust? I don't get it.
It was like, what you want, an aha moment? Like,
you didn't know that his mama named the child, and that irked me. You had to know that your mama named that child. And I need to know, like, are you in the baby's life? Because they keep making it seem like this is a maybe baby, but then at the same time, he said he would be there, according to the baby mama, for the baby. Is he involved in the child's life? Like, I know he is to an extent, but it doesn't seem like he's as involved as he could be. But the baby mama, I don't know. It's just a lot. So basically, these two are talking. She couldn't get any answers from Zane, so they're gonna meet with the baby mama, which is gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess. How did you feel about Zane and Ashley's talk about the baby mama?
I feel like I don't understand these women of today's time when it comes to cheating and infidelity and wanting explicit answers and like very raw material detail of what happened, how the night progressed, what you did with her, and all these different questions as if it matters. Like, that's where I kind of like, okay, so why do you need this information? It doesn't change the fact that he cheated. It doesn't change the fact that this is potentially his baby. It does not change the fact that his family still is going to have a relationship with this baby, regardless of the outcome. So for her, man, your priorities need to be, can you stick with him or not? Because it seems like to me, She reminds me of the girl that dated Lil Fizz, the first season. You know how she was kind of she was holding on to him just in case he might pop off again. This is what this is giving me. It's giving that she's mad, she's irritated, and she's doing this for this camera, but she also probably has an inkling that Lil Zane is going to pop up again like he did back in the early 90s. I mean, late 90s, early 2000s. It's given that kind of energy. And
He's
I'm just,
not.
huh?
He's not.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do all that. But what I'm saying is, like, to me, if he ain't been shit this entire time, he's not gonna correct it today. So I don't understand what you mad at. Like, I just don't. She on my nerves. I
It's
can't
like
never think.
Monique told Jocelyn, same way you catch them, same way you lose them. I
That was
think
not
Ashley
a
is,
part.
I think she's loud because I think a part of her knew what was going on while getting
Mm-hmm.
with him, but
Yeah.
it ended up lasting. That's what it's given to me. But we're going to keep it moving because we're going to come back to them. We are definitely going to be coming back to them. I apologize for my mouth, y'all. I don't have not one nice thing to say about this next scene with Rashida, her stupid ass son, and Kirk's stupid ass daughter. And yes, I said what I said. They're adults. And so therefore, if I feel, because it's my little opinion, that they are, a little bit stupid, then that's how I feel. Now, they discuss everything that's been going on, which is strange. These are grown kids. Why are you discussing what's going on with your marriage with the kids? They're grown. And one
Exactly.
of them don't even live with you. But she's discussing the state of her and Kirk with these kids, and she just irked me the whole time. She lets them know of the Jasmine issues, and his daughter gonna say, because I'm not gonna go over every little thing, but his daughter gonna say, I don't think that Kirk, I don't think my dad, I don't think he meant that she opened the door in there in the birthday suit. She just don't be having on a bra, or she might just be in a t-shirt. Let me tell y'all something. Where I pay rent, I'm not wearing no bra. But when I step outside, I'm gonna put on a bra. If you at home, you could be in just a t-shirt and stuff. And okay, if she's answering the door to the postal man or the Amazon guy, the cable guy, and nothing but a t-shirt, okay, then it's like, huh. But even though Kirk is married, I do have to say, who cares if she comes to the door in a t-shirt? He already done seen her up, down, sideways, folded in half, all types of ways. They made a whole child. So what is the big deal? But I did not like how Kirk's daughter tried to make it seem like he didn't mean it that way when it's like your dad is a hoe, admit it, and keep it moving. So the next stupid thing that comes from this scene is Rashida claims that she does not believe that Kirk wants to sleep with Jasmine. Rashida, why do you think that he don't want to sleep with someone that he slept with before, who now has a larger rear end than they had when he first met? Why would you think she's saying that she doesn't think that Kirk wants to sleep with him because the text didn't show much, but that's because Kirk deleted the thread. So if you don't want to sleep with this girl and she's really coming at you like that, then why delete the thread? Because I know men that have cheated, who are in relationships, who are now like being faithful and trying to do the right thing. And sometimes there is a little trotting, thought, and plotting girl that comes about and, try something. They will leave the text there so the wife can see that they didn't do nothing or something like that. Like, I actually had a friend do that. He passed away, unfortunately, but he was crazy as hell. He said, I left everything there so she knew. Kirk just does not move like somebody who does not want to sleep with Jasmine. It's just ridiculous. She tells him he ain't sleeping at the house. And Kirk's daughter makes this stupid statement again about how Jasmine needs to be grateful because she is a real single mother who don't have a father involved in her child's life at all, and it's hard. Do not tell me it's hard when Kirk and Rashida is helping to foot the bill on a lot of things. Do not tell me it is hard when you have it easier than most actual single moms that don't have parents on television that are making money and have restaurants that they can work at. Don't tell me that. And then separate from that, you don't even see that you repeated the cycle. Because whether you look at it from Kirk's daughter's, her mother's side, she was with Kirk And look how that ended up. And then whether you look at it from the side of her mirroring and choosing a man that's like her father, she chose a man who is not present. And Kirk may give the money, but it doesn't seem like he sees the little boy a lot. So I don't know. They all irritate me. She's a disappointment to all women everywhere. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, especially for Geminis. Like, we are known to be man eaters. We are known to be heartbreakers. We are known to be like players and like kind of close the door once you do stuff like that. And she's just over here just forgiving and forgiving. But that's just how I feel. I would get James's opinion on that whole thing. But the whole family's dumb. Something wrong.
I mean, that's an understatement. I would say the other word, but I don't want to get canceled. Kelsey, why don't you bring your mama on TV? And let's see how she portrays your father and how much he was there. Meanwhile, he was with Rashida. Because mind you, 25 years he was with this woman. How old are you exactly? Okay.
How many siblings do you have in your same age?
And how many siblings do you have? And was he there for all of them?
How many of y'all are the same age?
Okay. And let's not get it twisted. When this little boy first came, when Jasmine first had this little boy, you were the go-between. So he's a good father though, right? You was the go-between, weren't you? They wouldn't even want to deal with her. You had to go get the baby. But that's a good father. Okay. He only gets his baby once a month. But that's a good father. He pays his child support.
He didn't know that the child wasn't getting to school on time so much that DFS had to get involved. But he's a good father.
Yeah, but he's a good father. I'm not going to just only put that on Jasmine. I'm putting it on him too. Because he should be the one that steps up. He should be the one that also has his child more than when he has him. But he's a good father. Okay. Ma'am, if you're not going to bring your own mama up here to explain how good of a father he was to you and all the rest of the siblings, if you and the other siblings share the same mama, I don't want to hear this from y'all. Because all I can go off of is what I see. And what I see is a man that's only there when he want to be there. That's not a good father.
Probably when he ain't got nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. No, but he actually took the child to school sometimes. It was still late. She said, damn, even when you did, father, you didn't do it right.
You didn't do it right, exactly.
Oh my God. Kirk.
And then Rashida, hold on. Let me get Rashida together real quick. Rashida, is there any lie that you won't tell to yourself that you won't hold on to for dear life? Do you really think after this man has publicly humiliated you with Benzino and Bobby Valentino over there at the shed in the middle of the woods, do you really think that this man who's had access to that same hole 10 years ago, you really think that 10 years later, he wouldn't do the same? Now she looks even more, she's better than she did when she first got on TV. So you really think that he ain't trying to do that?
He been
as guilty as he looked.
25 years, and he done damn near had 25 different kids while married to you. I do not take these people seriously anymore. I feel like they're just married to keep the check because they give me the type that are bad with money.
No, they give me the type that even though he may have funded her career, as she said, whatever the fuck she wanted to put in there, it's given that you needed her name to get on this TV show that y'all been on for 15 fucking years. So I don't want to hear all this rigmarole of you don't believe he would do that when he ain't even told you out his own mouth that he didn't do it.
If you didn't believe that he didn't do it, why were you yelling at him?
Exactly, because you know what it is. And why is he not at the house with you if you don't think he did it?
Rashida is there's definitely something going on, and I do think that a lot of what we're seeing in today's time, I'll comment on it and stuff for recap purposes because it's an episode and all that, but I don't buy any of it. Ever since Labor Day, I've just really been off of them. And what woman been cheated on that many times and had a man make that many kids who's just okay with him, ducking off? And I would constantly be in that phone. That's why I can't do that shit. But
no, I couldn't be with him. First of all, he's not cute enough to be cheating on me like that. And then second of all, he's not mature enough either to even be mad about it, even when he did it. So it's kind of like,
And he don't
then,
have a
then the
good
fact was,
weavologist because that fake hair he trying to put on the top of his head, I don't
no,
understand.
and what got me is when he was cheating with when him and Bobby Valentino and Benzino and them was up at the shack in the middle of the woods. He had the nerve to question the paternity of Carter. So
Mhm.
come on, like no, like Rashid.
Right, and he don't have enough money.
That's another thing. Like,
Doesn't.
I'm sorry, no. You're not, even if you had the money, no, you're not about to do this. No, we're not about to do this. I am a one-stop shop, meaning when your ass get home and when you go out, you better have tunnel vision. You better not see now shit else on the street with me.
Yeah,
That's how I look at it. But
that's the way it should
you're a
be.
different type of person. That how what Scrappy say on whatchamacallit on my shit, I forgot the name of that video that I do. Updates video. Y'all need to be like Rashida and Yandy, because they stick behind their man. They, what I'm saying? They stick behind. Don't nobody look. No, you're not gonna make no fucking fool of me. Not on no national TV.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not. Because then that's when I'm gonna turn into Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale.
Mm-hmm.
You
Be
gonna
on
come
the
home
episode
now?
of
It's
Snap.
gonna be some ashes. That's how you gonna come home.
I guess they went and stated you just never know what's real and fake, what's fake between you two, because I really didn't think I didn't think he questioned the paternity either, but it's the fact that
The
he
intent was still
still
out there.
had
Yeah,
yeah.
the intent.
But
Yeah.
we gonna move on from these fools. I'll tell you this, they need the check because they keep coming back with the same shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Same bullshit.
Now, more foolery, y'all. Unfortunately, Carly and Sierra are doing an engagement party together and they are cackling together like little hens, having a time. Um, they are bragging and talking to themselves because they're the outcasts right now. Nobody really messed with Carly too much, but that's always kind of been that way. And nobody is really fooling with Sierra right now. So they're bragging about the fact that they getting rings and they act like they coochies is what gets the ring, and they was like, we could keep men. Let me tell y'all something. To keep a man does not mean that you are like those doors in the fancy hotels where you gotta like go in a circle to get through, just a revolving door. It's not the revolving door of niggas. Okay, it's just not. That does not mean that you can keep a man. That means that you are promiscuous or thought or whatever term people choose to describe that. To keep a man means that you get one and you're together for some time without the toxicity, you know. And okay, yes, things don't always work out. You could break up, but that to me is keeping a man. Carly and Sierra be getting engaged so fast. And this just proved to me that they are both slow. If y'all could keep the men, then you wouldn't have so many rings because you'd have the same man. I won't say the same ring because I'm on my second wedding ring myself. But anywho, you, you're not keeping a man if the man has not been kept and is elsewhere. And then all the men that they was with, some of them go to jail, and then some of them move on with other people. I cannot with them. I cannot. I just can't. Wish they would have said not these two. They are a mess. And you can tell they're just allied together because nobody else wants to deal with them. Uh, they discussed Bambi and Carly and their little shebang. And Carly did have a point when she was talking to Sierra. She made the point, and I was glad she finally explained it correctly, where she was like, what if I was to go and do business with Eric, Sierra's ex-husband? You'd feel away, right? And I was like, when she said it like that, I was like, that actually makes sense. But the argument started because she messaged your man to plan a birthday for you. So which one is it? Are you mad at that, or are you mad that she's doing business with your ex? I don't understand it. But Carly is convinced that Bambi is going to try and take her man. Bambi has a man. Carly, please get rid of Carly Red from this show. It's time for Carly, Rashida, and Kirk definitely to go because she
I
not if
kind of
it's
agree with that
just
too. Not if
business.
it's just business. Like if it's really just business, I probably wouldn't trip. Like I'm not somebody to trip off my exes anyway. Like, whatever you want to do, by all means, go for it. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I've never been that kind of person. Like, it's, you know, my whole problem with Carly is this. Man, you're not even going to be with this man next season. So why are you even getting yourself worked up over some shit that may or may not even happen at the end of the day? Because you may not even be with him. You'll be on the next one with your next 6 carat ring.
Let me tell y'all
So
this. There's a little scene in here that I'm not going to discuss where her dude, I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. It's something with a T, but he need multiple bachelor parties. She not going to keep this one.
she's not, and she's not. We all know she's not. This is routine. She come on here every season, whole new man, whole new ring, whole new drama, whole more fuck shit, and like we fall hostage to it every time. I'm gonna start treating Carly like I treat Heather on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. When I see her scene, I'm gonna fast forward to shit because at the end of the day, she's not doing anything different. We have seen this for 10 seasons now.
It's
I'm
the
over
same
this.
thing, yeah.
It's the same shit.
That's really my take. Like, y'all cannot keep men.
No, it's not that they can't keep them. They keep like manufacturing storylines of them getting engaged and then getting married. Carly trying to find love off of TV. Like
That's them not being able to keep a man, but they're doing the same thing as showing us the different ways of which that you can lose a man
no. I just
after
want to see
being
the real.
engaged season after season. So it's like the same stuff happens, but I just don't think that
I want
Carly
to see
needs
the
to
real
be
man
able
that
to
doesn't want
go.
to be on TV. I want to see the real one.
You said what?
I want to see the real man who doesn't want to be on TV. I want to see the real one. That's how I feel. I want to see the real man. That go for Sierra too. I want to see the real man that doesn't want to be on TV. Where is he? Bring him on Instagram so I can see.
Lord. But yeah, I don't take it seriously. She said that man that they have nobody. Exactly. Nobody wants them, especially the one with the teeth from last season that Carly was with. I said, oh my God, he looked, I swear he looked like my Uncle Greg in the face, who was an alcoholic with a fresh new set of dentures that was just whiter than white.
When I tell you it was giving Consequence from Love and Hip Hop New York season 3. It was giving a straight up Consequence. Them teeth still scare me to this day.
I can't stand you. I cannot stand you for that. I couldn't stand him, but he's very talented, but I can't stand him as a person.
Can't stand him for the life of me, but hey.
Now we get to Saucy Santana. I like how Saucy is actually, at first I didn't know how to feel about Saucy Santana on Love and Hip Hop. I was like, he's only here for Zell, and he kind of acted like standoffish in his first season. But now you can tell he's like warmed up a little bit. He probably the type of person that's not going to open up until he like know you a little bit. But I appreciate the fact that even though he be so tired when he's performing, shaking that box in the air, he's showing us the hip hop aspect of Love and Hip Hop. That's what the show's supposed to be. So at least he showed himself working, because nobody else seems to show themselves working too much. She says to us, he is. But I always just see like a box like moving in a circle somehow. Stresses me out. How you get BBL look like a box? Sue the doctor. That's not worth the money. And that stuff, I watched a YouTube documentary. People are really paying thousands of dollars for that stuff. So it needs to come out right, not box like. But I don't understand why Saucy Santana's mom's in every scene, and I don't know if everyone feels the same way. Like, oh yeah, Spice too. She's an artist and popping right now, and her music's actually decent. At least the music she's been putting out recently. So I like Spice's music, but I don't like Spice, if that makes sense. But yeah. But Saucy's mom has been in like every episode that we get him this season. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. While I don't mind it, it's kind of given like you trying to find a way to get your mama a check or something, because they're saying the same things also in every scene. And yes, I support the LGBTQ community. But I just they're talking about the same things every single episode, him and his mom, and they get on my nerves. She said BBLs are really cheap. What? Oh Lord! If you go to that Goals plastic surgery place,
I'm
allegedly, don't
sorry,
come for me.
but when Shekinah talking about she couldn't wipe her own ass because it was too big, that's when I kind of like, nope, no, thank you.
We didn't need to know that.
Yeah, we
Uh,
don't know that either. Yeah, but that's what we're seeing these days.
but Saucy, he says that he feels like his music's not good enough. Is working on an album. I'm glad that he knows it's not. Saucy Santana can actually rap, but the stuff that's gotten popular, he's not doing too much on it. I want him to like have the fun little twerk songs and all that, Material Girl, all of that, but also throw some actual like rapping on there so you don't end up like Young Miami, who nobody really respect, or as an artist. As an artist. Anywhere from 2 to 7,000 is normal. That's too much money for me to
That
just
is, get you a Saturn and call it a day. Ain't nobody finna play.
just I'll keep what I got. I'm cheap though, so let's that. Some people really use plastic surgery as a way to like feel good about themselves and things of that nature. So to each his own, but make
Yeah.
sure it's not shaped like a box. He probably got that $2,000 BBL. He was on the lower end of the spectrum.
Mhm. Instead of you looking like a Lexus, we're gonna make you look like a Buick.
Oh Jesus.
You know.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, I agree. He needs to do more writing for women rappers. He definitely should. But then at the same time, as people who do music reviews, I'd be so bothered by that. Write your own music. It's okay to get a little assistance, but please write your own music, artist, at least in the beginning. But I
I
think he's at
feel
the point
like
in his career where he could write for other people. He could.
I feel like as long as he gets the credibility that he had done so, see, a lot of the times that gets a little fuzzy when credibility comes out and they start winning awards or they start getting hits and stuff. A lot of the times, the women don't want to admit that they got that from another man. So I kind of feel like I would love for him to do that, but I want to make
All
sure
the
he gets the
songs
right notoriety
legally that
for it.
these artists have are registered, and you could just click the song credit info and see the men that write on it. That's not as big as an issue now as it was back in the day, unless it's like with a sample, which he
That's what
rarely
I yeah,
does.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying with the
he
sample.
rarely
Yeah,
does that.
because yes, because with that one, it's hit or miss. And then a lot of times when they do interviews to promote it, it's kind of like well, they don't want to give that right credit. They never say, "Oh my God, I had this really sound rapper. His name was Saucy Santana." When I tell you,
They
pencil
legally
to
don't
paper,
have to once they sign the
I get,
contract.
it, but if
They don't
somebody,
have to.
okay, here's the thing: if someone co-wrote Fraternity Row with me, let's put that out there. There's no way that I would take 100% of that credit if I knew someone else wrote, like, because that's me. I wouldn't sleep well at night knowing that I'm famous for one of my books that I didn't 100% write, even though I did 100% write my book. But I'm just saying, I could never do that. Like, I just could never do that. And then a lot of these people do that
Yes,
these
they
days.
do. Yeah, they do get writer's credit. It is the law, especially when you register the music to wherever you copyright your music. They're going to ask you percentages, who did what. There's a section for writers, composers, all those things. Uh, but there are like more so at the independent level, and he is independent right now. If you don't have a very good team in terms of management and contracts, then you could end up in some stuff. But he needs to, I would rather him see him writing than doing that because he just always looked tired on stage. But apparently Chef D has upset with Saucy, has not called or texted him back. I don't understand why Saucy dates these boys that he knows he doesn't want and then allows them to get so attached. Like if you really is just bouncing from dude to dude, then just when you see them about to get attached, cut it off and move on to the next. Why let them get attached? I think he liked men being stuck on him, which a lot of people are like that. I don't care what your orientation is. A lot of people are like that when dating. They just like to feel like somebody is stuck on them. But Saucy doing a little too much. But he did say something I agreed with after his performance. He feels like Zell desperately wants a baby. And he made the point like there are other ways that Zell could get a baby, and he don't buy any of the baby mama stuff. But why are you telling this to your mom? I'm just so confused. She struggling, y'all writing this book about her struggle to accept the fact that she had a gay son, and but then she's also had gay friends herself. I'm just very confused on all that's going on. But how did you feel about this little stuff, random conversation?
It's getting a little frustrating because I don't, because I get this is somebody's mother, mainly Saucy Santana's mother, and it's giving. And I'm just going to put this up. It's giving a fail-safe storyline in case people don't warm up to him. We have a fail-safe of putting your mama on blast and TV for a storyline, and her doing what most parents do when it comes to one of their children becoming a homosexual. It's really given that. And to me, that is tired, played out. And at this point, this generation is something that we should be over at this point, regardless of what the church say, regardless of, it should be something that we should be like, it's second nature at this point. We get it. Fine. Love who you love, regardless of what it does, because it shouldn't affect me whatsoever, right? That's how we should look at these things. So for her to sit up here and give this disdain about how she don't like it, she's uncomfortable, this and this and that, but then on the same token, you love your son and you've had it. It's like, it's confusing, man. Pick a lane, stay in it, drive on. That's
yeah, I'm tired of seeing the mom. Is her book out?
I don't know, but I want to read it. I do. I want to read it. I actually
read it too. I would read it too. Now, if I read that book and I see that everything in the book is everything that we saw on the show, Barnes and Noble's accept returns, and I'm keeping my receipt. I'll read the book with gloves. They'll think it was never touched. Don't. I will return that book. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me know if anybody who watches this replay gang, let me know if anybody knows if her book is out, Saucy Santana's Mom. We would love to know. James likes to read. He writes books, reads books. He likes books. Now, we see Lil Zane meeting with what I viewed as a nasty looking baby mama. I'm sorry. I was not expecting that. I was confused at her outfit. I won't say it was her. Her outfit bothered me, James.
It was like, Mona, who you pay to come do this scene?
With this that snapback turn to the back.
Not even in my most desperate moments. Once she looks sloppy, and she looked like she could take a bite of a Big Mac and eat half of it and it's already gone in the first bite. She looks sloppy. I'm sorry. I know Lil Zane, and here's the thing. I'm stuck on the Lil Zane from 1999. I'm stuck on that Lil Zane because every time I look at him, I'm like, ain't no way you can approach me. Sorry, you not that cute. So, but maybe we're looking at, maybe we have tunnel vision and looking at 20 years ago Lil Zane, and that's what we picture. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But it matches in energy and attraction. It matches. Biology, we call that a match in genetic dispositions. That definitely matches.
Yeah, they did match each other. You could tell. I think they still sleeping together also. But I didn't understand why you wouldn't arrive with your wife to talk to your baby mama about stuff.
You don't want to get left there.
Your wife has been complaining about you're supposed to be a united front, and that was weird. That Ashley could have at least been there first. But she arrived.
Lil Zane know Ashley, whatever explanation finna come out of this, he don't want to get left at that bar or that lounge. So he drove his own car. She drove her own car. So that way, either he don't have to hear her mouth in the car together, or she can't leave him there and him having to catch an Uber. So that's why I'm saying, that's why this, I know why he did. Men like they're getting smarter these days.
I don't think he's so smart. He tries to be. I just think he got a
no, he's stupid, but he did, in this instance, he know his wife. And he know whatever explanation that old girl finna give, he gonna have to hear that mouth when he get home. So he rather just, mentally prepare for that shit.
So they sit down and they talk. Everybody greets each other, and Ashley asked the baby mom. Ashley asked when the baby mama became aware of her and Zane in a relationship. And the baby mama says that she learned of Ashley and Lil Zane in 2015. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the episode, Ashley told us that Zayn proposed to her in 2014. So, why did you propose to a woman that your baby mama knew nothing about until the following year? So, it's then explained that Ashley has met the baby mama's kids and all these other things. And I'm like, kids talk a lot. And I'm not, and their kids were at that time, some of them, especially the first two, were older. So I'm pretty sure she knew that her kids had met her. So I felt like the baby mama was lying there a little bit. But the baby mama says that she never thought that Ashley and Zayn were serious, which I believe. I genuinely believe, especially going back to what James said, their energy they both gave. They give the couple that like to sleep with like a random chick or something,
Yep.
and then they send the bitch on. And they that couple that can do it, and be okay for the most part until they get in an argument and they throwing shit in each other's face about their little, situations. That's what they give. But she said she didn't know about Ashley and all of those things. And, the baby mama's like, I didn't know it was that serious. And then the baby mama says that Zayn only proposed after Michelle, who was the baby mama, got pregnant. Zayn admits to knowing about the baby before proposing to Ashley. So now it makes sense why he didn't tell the baby mama about Ashley. Because in what I think happened, if I played detective and be my own little Black Nancy Drew, I feel like he did not tell the baby mama about Ashley because they was probably dealing with each other at that time. And the baby mama thought Ashley was just probably a little thing that would go away. And he probably didn't say nothing about it getting serious because she was pregnant and maybe he didn't want to impact her health or stress her out. So yes, sometimes men will do that. That's what I think happened. Either way, we learned that the baby mama says that Zayn loves her and everybody knows it because the conversation took a turn. And the baby mama also explains that Zayn was aware that the father of the baby that she had, the last one, the baby, the father of this child would not be in the child's life. And that she wanted to change the last name on the birth certificate from Zayn's last name to the actual correct last name of the child's father, or at least, Michelle. But Zayn said, no, give the child my last name, and said that he would raise that child as if it was his own, which is probably why his mama was willing to go to the hospital and help to name the child because he got his mom to accept it, which would make sense. It would make sense. It would make sense. This is so messy. I can't believe there's still more to explain, y'all. I really cannot believe it. So, Zayn, I'm gonna come back to him. Now, he tries to say to these two women when things start to get heated that, two grown women should not be wanting to even like talk about the issue. He says something along the lines of that. And I'm like, what do you mean two grown women should not want to talk about the issue? You're married to one and the other one's the mother of your kids with a potential maybe baby that we now know is not a maybe. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And why was no paternity test done? I don't understand that. It's giving y'all as broken needed a check, so came on Love and Hip Hop. Now, the baby mama asked, what's the solution? Which surprised me because I was expecting her to just kind of have an attitude because her hat was turned to the back and it was a snapback. But she says, what's the solution that they can both meet to find peace? And Ashley says that if this is not Zayn's child, then the last name needs to be changed. And this child is 8 years old now. So I did agree with the baby mama when she's like, my child is 8, that's going to take his identity. I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, oh, well, I personally am a firm believer. If any man shows up to a woman's ultrasound, I think legally, federally, they need to make it a law to where get his DNA just in case. Just in case. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of women out there just letting whoever let their liquids off up inside of them.
I agree.
Like it's too much. It's too much. So it's like you can't force adults to be responsible. You just can't. You really cannot. So maybe start regulating some stuff like that, because that doesn't make any sense to now have a child in a situation where it's like, even though she's not going to change his last name, you're still going to have to explain this to him at one point,
Right.
when this child is older. And this child can now watch this stuff on television. So I'm just looking at Zayn and Michelle with absolute disgust and a lack of respect, because it seems like they took their toxicity and kind of put it onto a child, regardless if the child's happy and all of that. This is not the child's actual last name. So the baby mama says that she does respect Zayn and Ashley's marriage because she is not sleeping with him, which did give the energy. And I agreed with Ashley that she could sleep with him when she wants to, which a lot of baby mamas feel that way. I've heard baby mamas that are my friends say that. That's my baby daddy. If I want to sit on it, I will. Hey, your business. I don't make people. But for those who do as you do. But I don't like any of these people. Ashley's voice annoyed me. She's pretty stupid. Zayn, this is not funny. Even the producers in the confessional were like, you could hear in the lady's voice when she was asking him stuff. She did not like him or what he was doing. You are not Stevie J. You will not have a moment. They're like Stevie J and Jocelyn and Mimi, Rashida and Kirk and Jasmine, like 5.7.
Right, with a little mix of, what was that DJ's name with Cardi B?
So
When, yes, do you remember that scene when he was with his girlfriend and Cardi had came up in the club and was doing too much, and he couldn't keep his laugh together? He said, "What's up?" That's what he reminded me of, and it's like that shit is not fucking funny. Like that shit is ridiculous. That shit is stupid. And the fact that you sit up here and you got your wife up here making a fool of herself, and then you have your baby mama sitting up there talking and disrespecting her. Because regardless of how y'all feel about who was there first, that's still that man's wife at the end of the day. So no, you gonna stop messing around with him, or he gonna stop coming around, and we'll have mutual places. We'll meet at the fire station to collect the baby if we ask to.
she thinks because she's the baby mama that it makes her
Let me tell
more
y'all something.
important.
Yeah,
The
let me tell
kids
y'all, baby
are
mama something.
important. The kids are important. Once there's a wife, I'm sorry. You
All
don't
bets are off. Exactly.
you don't matter. You
You
don't.
don't.
You're just the baby mama. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry.
Because let me tell you something, in real life, if Lil Zane ends up, and God forbid, if he ends up in the hospital in life-threatening conditions,
Mhm.
they're not going to call the mother of his child up there to make a decision. They're going to call Ashley
Yep.
to
Even if
make the
the
decision.
kids
They're
are
not going to call
grown.
his mama. They can't tell his daddy. It is his wife. Y'all
Mhm.
can think marriage isn't important all you want to, but when
Yep.
the life-threatening situation happens, guess who has to make the final decision? Ashley. And you better
Yep.
hope she doesn't have vengeance. You better hope she says you do whatever it takes. Because she could say, end it. Sorry.
Every time, I will say about Ashley, to give her some type of credit though, every time the baby mama kind of got like an attitude or tried to do the bitch type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
she turned right to Zane. Right to Zane. Like when that baby mama made the comment of, I respect your marriage because I'm not even sleeping with him. And she didn't say nothing to that girl. She looked right to her left to him and said, oh, so she can sleep with you when she wants. And I said, that's right, because your problem is not this woman. Your problem is your man that you need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't like, is when women start fighting each other. And there's, I'm sorry, no shade. If you okay to sleep with a married man, I don't care if you're your baby daddy or any of that. If you're okay to sleep with anybody who's not available, especially if they are married, like you're not gonna get much respect. You're just not. You're not
Mm-hmm.
worth the fight. They gonna provoke you and try and get you to fight them so that somebody else look wrong in the situation. But I didn't like the baby mama. I didn't like her. I didn't like her at all. I don't like Lil Zane either.
I don't like him as well. And I don't, you know what I don't like about her is the self entitlement of being there first, is what I got from her. It
Yeah.
was kind of like, well, I was here first. It don't matter. He didn't fucking marry you. So
Right. All
therefore,
them years and them kids, what you got?
yes, exactly. You just got babies out of the situation. So you have no privilege here, man. So you don't. You don't have nothing there. If you wanted it and you feel like you can get it, wow, sex is beautiful, but it's nothing concrete. It's nothing binding, which is what Ashley has. So for you to sit there and act like you doing something or you cute in this scene or whatever, you're not.
No.
That was very ugly of you to say. And instead of you just saying, look, I'm here to give you the story. I don't have no interest in this man, but he agreed to legally put his name on my son's birth certificate. There's nothing you can do about that once the damage has been done because he's now the child's legal father.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether or not he's still legally responsible, as he said
If
he
it's
would
really
be.
that deep, again, if you could turn to your husband and be like, oh, so she can sleep with you whenever she wants, then turn to your husband, make him go to court, get a DNA test, and go have his name taken off that certificate. People do it all the time, unfortunately. They do. If a child is not yours biologically and you choose to take your name off that birth certificate, you can. It's unfortunate. I think it's a little crazy and effed up because if you make that commitment, make that commitment, you know. But there are options that she can take to get that handle. And the child's name won't change either. So everybody wins. The baby mama Michelle, your baby will be able to keep his last name. Ashley, your man won't be on the birth certificate. And Zane, you could keep being there looking stupid. We gonna move it forward though, y'all. Spice is throwing Rennie a baby brunch. I don't know what the hell that is. And she's calling Sierra a fake god mom. I didn't like that. I know some people may not feel like it was a big thing, but I feel like Spice picks on people, throws shade. Sierra ain't done nothing to you. I don't understand, Spice, why you constantly throwing shade. And it's almost like you're trying to break up Sierra and Rennie's friendship. And they are genuinely close outside of the show, off camera. They actually talk, hang out. Stop trying to make Sierra seem like a bad person or a bad god mom friend or whatever when you don't care what she has going on or fully know what she has going on. That's just my opinion. But we see Zell come in, y'all, and Shekinah and Spicer setting up the event. And I don't know why Shekinah, sometimes I do like Shekinah just for the best. I don't know why the first thing she says with Zell walked in and something along the lines of why you sleep with that girl? You really got a baby, a real baby. You actually had sex with a real girl and you having a real baby. And Zell got pissed off and threw a big ass fit. Uh, Once again, he's playing the gay card. And it irritated me. And I'm gonna wait till the end of discussing this baby brunch to discuss Zell because doing it in pieces is gonna be a mess. But I think we both have a lot to say because he got on my nerves playing that gay card to Shekinah. Okay. Please. Please, Zell, you're gonna be red for filth very soon. Now Sierra comes in and thanks Spice for doing the event. And Spice is acting all sweet and stuff, even though she was just talking crap, which is why people don't like you, Spice. Saucy comes too, which is strange. I did not know he knew Rennie Rucci like that. And Spice is joking, I'm the right auntie. Choose me, choose me. Rennie is neutral, which I love. Separate from that, Rennie actually has a genuine relationship with Sierra, who, regardless on what we say, has her children in her household and has raised them. Spice, be quiet. Be quiet. Get yours with you full time. And then you can speak about how you extended yourself to other kids when yours is not with you all the time. I'd be dedicating every fiber of my being figuring out a way to get my children here. Every fiber of my being. I really would. But that's just my opinion. Now, Zell starts to trip again. And I'm not going over every little thing that happened on the scene because it was long and I was stressed. But Zell starts to trip out again and he tries to come for Shekinah. To me, he seemed high and a little bit manic. Like he seemed off. that did not seem like he was actually angry, because y'all know I don't believe the baby mama storyline anyway. I think he did it for the camera. I don't buy any of it. But in this scene, he was acting like he was really mad. He came in hot, half dressed, glistening at the forehead. And he seemed irritated before Shekinah even got the opportunity to say anything. Right? So I didn't understand it. And Saucy then says, because he starts talking to Zell, because Zell was tripping at the table. And Saucy says, let me see the ultrasound. And he has a point. You walking around with a P test, talking about you got a woman pregnant, but just last season, you was saying that Saucy, you loved him so much that he made you feel safe and comfortable to really just come out and be, because that was a big deal that you had a public relationship with a man, because we know the Zell has struggled with that. Now, because y'all broke up, you just magically back on women, and you got one pregnant in Mexico that you didn't know randomly. So I agreed with Saucy. All we've seen is a pee stick that you carrying around. Where's the ultrasound? Where's the blood test? Something. My chart, Epic, My Health Online, KP.org. Hell, where is it at? There's nothing there. So he makes the comment about the ultrasound thing. And Yandy chuckled along with everybody in the room because it was funny as hell, because Saucy was serious when he said that, and it made it that much better. And next thing you know, Zell came for Yandy's marriage. He told her, I don't know why you laughing, Yandy, when you got problems of your own. Your man. Now, those Zell was tripping, I agree with that, because nobody.
Me too. I was mad.
They be acting like they can't say shit.
Somebody needed to do it. Yep. And even though his approach was wrong, I didn't care, because Yandy full of shit. And so that's why I was like, somebody had to do it. I wasn't mad at that point. I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't. The Shekinah thing, maybe,
the Shekinah thing was like relaxed, because Shekinah always saying something ignorant.
Yeah, she always, that's a gift.
Yandy, I lived for it. And when the confessional, he said, y'all see the shade room? It's not just what we talk about. So, oh, Lord. And that relationship is a joke. Like James said, Yandy in Africa so much, she probably got a man out there. And they love African American women.
They do. But I tell you, they love poisonous frog looking women. Absolutely, they do. So I'm sorry. I don't. And this is allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly, because I know how Yandy get down. Allegedly, I feel like she has somebody in Africa. I do. I'm sorry, and I feel like this Herman DC shit is bullshit for TV. And I'm gonna say allegedly.
He said it on an episode in the therapy. She was like, "We need to this and that," and he said something about, oh, so we could keep faking it. So they've been having problems prior to the shit that we've been seeing, in my opinion.
No, yeah, absolutely.
They never got married, and that told me all I needed to know. I don't take people playing house seriously. I just don't. Now, Zell thought that he could fool people, and I think what happened that really did upset him in this situation. I think he drank too much or something before arriving, because he knew Saucy was there. But Zell, I personally feel as though he prefers men. I genuinely believe that, but I think he's embarrassed and will be probably for the rest of his life. Some people are that way. He and Saucy get into it again. And without saying too much, because I'm like, y'all are not together, so why are you arguing? But Saucy cleared Zell a little bit. He used to have his like fashion line that he was promoting, and he was actually a stylist when we met him on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. It was doing a lot. I don't know if he's having the same success in Atlanta, because Zell said to Saucy, or Saucy says to Zell, how are you gonna have a baby when you can't even get a job?
I said, I said, not him depending on the Love and Hip Hop checks now.
Right, because those are not guaranteed. This show that almost died.
Like, I'm praying that's not the case. Like, I hope he ain't just out him like that. Not for the Love and Hip Hop checks. Like, I know that.
Because last season, wasn't he buying you a chain? That's how they came onto the season. The first scene, they was in the jewelry store. Zell's like, I gotta get my boo some jewelry.
I mean, I'm sure with appearances and the checks from Love, even though MTV this show is probably the lowest caliber paid show on MTV right now. But I'm sure even the appearances, it's enough for renting the car payment and everything. I'm sure that he's getting at least that. So maybe Saucy does have a point because when you compare Zell's career to Saucy is booked. Saucy's doing more than just loving hip hop. He's on BET. He's on tour. He's doing stuff like he's booking shows and he is making a name. He has a name outside of this show. All we know about Zell is he was Malaysian and Fran. So I mean, I get where Saucy was coming from. It's like, and here's the thing: I hate men who feel like they need to prove something.
He just does not have sustainable income to have a child. There's a difference between being able to get money and have a sustainable money, which is something that's going to last. Like the problem, the beauty of being in the industry is you can get so much money, but then there could be years that you're not getting any money, or like writer strikes like we see with actors where they just unable to work and stuff. And so I got what Zell was saying. I or Saucy was saying, I'm mixing up these damn people, but I
did too. But then I'm kind of like, at the same time, I feel like he wouldn't just leave. Like if this was real, I don't believe this is real. But if this was real, I don't believe that he would just leave the baby out destitute and not figure it out. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, of course he'd figure it out. I think Zell has a good heart and really does want to have a child, but he's definitely not in the mental headspace to do so. He throws fits worse than a child. But Rashida and them was mad at Zell because he got a Rashida too. Y'all marriage is a joke. Yandy does not have a marriage, and Rashida's marriage is a joke. And the cast likes to kiss their ass because they stupid like Scrappy. But in real time, and Rashida and them be seeing the comments and stuff, nobody respects your marriage. It's not just the cheating. It's the fact that he's made so many. We don't respect your marriage. That's all I'm gonna say. So they mad as hell because he called them out for their stupidity. Oh well, they'll be okay. If you can forgive the men for cheating and making kids on you, and with Yandy being pregnant at the same time as some other chick, then you'll be all right if we don't like your marriage, because y'all got to sit in it. Now, the final thing we get for this episode is Saucy Santana and Rennie Rucci discussing Zell. I do think that Zell is good for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta if he stops filming with his mother. I don't need her in every episode. We can see her a little often, like we see Mama D here and there, but she's not with us every episode, But I think that he's definitely a good fit for this show. And I love how he stayed with Rennie and just chatted about it, because I do think Saucy actually cares and can see through the BS. And I think that Zell is just, I don't know. Where is the ultrasound, Zell?
I mean, where is it?
Where is it? Yeah. Or the paperwork from something. Did she have a D&D after the alleged? Because didn't he say that she lost the baby or something? They advertised.
That's what they said, but But there's been no other story following up on it. So it's one of two things: either it wasn't real, or the baby was never his.
Yeah, because Saucy did say that girl is known to just sleep with random men. So,
and I believe that, because it was too random. It was way too random. Like, to me, she looked like she was just trying to get on TV in the first place. That's what it like. Yeah. That's what it was given for me. It's like, you could look at Zell and tell. Like, it's not like it's not obvious. He can be unassuming at times, but lately,
that girl at her age seems like the type to have watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, especially being that she's in Atlanta. So I don't buy any of it. But that was the episode, you guys. I appreciate you, James, for being here and discussing everything with me. I appreciate everybody who watches our live recaps, as well as our replay videos when we are no longer live. It means that world, you guys are keeping us going. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. The link to James's channel is in the description of this video. Click it. It will take you directly to his channel. I also have playlists on my channel of all the lives that we do on my channel and James's channel. So just go check out the channel. Watch the video. There's lots. Other than that, I will be live again tomorrow to do Love After Lockup, which is like almost a week late now. We have a music reaction dropping on Saturday. And then this, do you have any lives this weekend?
I have the Braxtons and Love and Marriage Detroit on Sunday.
The Braxtons and Love and Marriage Detroit. All right. Be sure to tune in on James's channel for that. I do have playlists for those shows, which are recapped on his channel, as well as the link to his channel in the description. Other than that, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all.